CNN's Fred Pleitgen is one of the few international reporters inside Syria. He's joining us now live from Damascus. And Fred, we've obtained some disturbing video from ITV News, and I wanted to let our viewers know that the video is graphic, including images of dead women and children. But we do believe it's an important part of telling this story. So Fred, what have you been able to find out about this attack?
Well, we're still trying to piece things together, Ralitza, and of course it's very difficult here on the ground because we are in the government-controlled part of Damascus, and therefore we do have some restrictions on our movement. It's very difficult to, of course, cross the front lines and to try to get to these territories. We're trying to piece things together, and this video that we have obtained, which, as you said, is absolutely gruesome, which apparently was shot in the Zamalka district, seems to show people who are on the ground purportedly having been killed by a chemical weapons attack. But of course, this video, as graphic and as horrible as it is, doesn't prove or disprove anything on the ground until an independent team has been able to verify what actually happened there. Nevertheless, the images are, of course, very striking. They're very shocking, and I want you to have a look at some of them. This is said to be the first independent video of the alleged chemical weapons attack in the suburbs of Damascus. It was obtained by British broadcaster ITV News, saying they got it from a trustworthy, independent Syrian filmmaker. Its content is extremely graphic, the shots allegedly taken in the town of Zamalka shortly after the incident on Wednesday morning. I managed to speak to this woman who didn't want to be identified. She has relatives in Zamalka and said she got there a few hours after it was allegedly hit by chemical weapons. Several of her relatives were killed, she told me. Others remain gravely sick. They have very bad pain and their legs cannot carry them, she said. If they want to go to the bathroom, they have to crawl on the floor. They try to drink water because they feel they have to throw up all the time. They have bad headaches and can barely see. The woman says it's impossible to tell which side used the alleged chemicals. Both the Syrian government and the opposition are accusing each other of staging the attacks. There's little doubt that there was a large military operation underway by Syrian government forces on Wednesday morning. We managed to get to an area in Damascus very close to where the incidents purportedly happened. People we spoke to here told us they didn't feel any effects of possible nerve agents. In this area here, there were no chemicals. I didn't smell anything or feel anything, this man said. Otherwise, we would all not be here. I'm in the Jeramana district, and right behind me, that is the last checkpoint before you reach the district of Ghouta, where allegedly these chemical weapons attacks took place. The military won't allow us to go any further than we are right now, so all we can do is be right here and try and get people who are coming out of that area to try and get as many eyewitness accounts as we can. Even the United Nations weapons inspectors who are in Damascus can't get close to the alleged site, still waiting for permission from the Syrian government. With 1,300 people allegedly killed in the attack and the UN saying time is of the essence, calls for an independent investigation are mounting in the international community. So, Ralitza, as you can see, there still are a lot more questions than there are answers on the ground here in Damascus, and it still is really very much unclear if and when the UN weapons inspectors are going to be able to go to that site. The UN, of course, is saying that it wants its inspectors to go out there as fast as possible. And to get back to what the UK Foreign Secretary William Hague was saying, of course, it's well and good for him to say that he believes the Assad regime has something to hide, but the fact of the matter is that the UN weapons inspectors had a clear mandate for what they could do here on the ground, and it was to visit 3 sites that have nothing to do with what happened here on Wednesday, sites that were picked out a very long time ago. So it's quite difficult to change the game plan as things move along here, especially, of course, because Syria has a very thick bureaucracy, not one that is used to changing the game plan. So it's very difficult for the UN weapons inspectors at this point in time. Of course, on the one hand, the entire international community says they need to get out there as fast as possible, and they really aren't very far away from where all this allegedly happened. But on the other hand, they are in a very sensitive and difficult situation operating here in Syria. Ralitza?
Fred Pleitgen, thank you very much.